Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Victor here again. Welcome back to another episode of Trailboss Mafia. Today we are with Kyle here.
Hey everybody.
From Thompson Chevrolet, Patterson, California. And he's nice enough to let me get my hands on a 2023 Colorado Trailboss, all right? So it's sitting right behind us. I'm gonna give you guys a quick walk around the features and show you what's different on these trucks from the previous generation, all right, guys? So let's go ahead and do that right now. Alright guys, so here you have it. It's a 2023 Colorado Trailboss. Alright, you guys could tell right off the bat, it's a little bit wider than the regular Z71s and regular Colorados, only because it's got a little bit more aggressive tire setup too. So when the tires poke out a little bit more, you need to make sure you have the fender sticking out, right, to comply with laws and you're not flinging mud everywhere. And if you look at this, it's all composite material, meaning that unlike the TRD Pro Tacomas, this is not gloss black, which is awesome, right? If you're gonna take it off-road, you don't want to get pinstripes all over the nice painted finish. All right, you do get these beautiful gloss black wheels, nice little aggressive Bridgestone tires here. You could see on the Colorado emblems, previous generation used to be lower on the door. They raised them a bit here. And on the Trailboss trim, more composite material here on the door handles. Again, for off-roading purposes, that is definitely something GM thought about, where us owners won't feel too bad about scratching. You do see the gloss black mirror cap, but there's still composite material underneath there too. Look at the front fender flare as well. And if you look at the front bumper and front grille area, you don't see too many painted surfaces. Again, I believe it's for the same reason, that it's going to be an off-road vehicle. You'll notice, compared to the Z71, there's no fog lights on this one. You only have this insert here. And if you guys are going to be taking this off-road a lot, you know, I'm sure you're going to be putting your own set of fog lights or bumper lights on them. Baja Designs go full aftermarket routes, you know, so that's less money you have to spend right off the bat to really customize things how you want it. The only real painted part here is this section here of the bumper, lower bumper. And this lower part here by the tow hooks can be removed to give you more clearance too to take it off-road. Right, when you're looking at the headlights, the Trailboss does have the halogen headlight feature, and the Z71 is going to give you the LED ones. And the reasoning for this, that I believe too, is yeah, you might feel that GM maybe skimped out on providing some quality parts on this. I'm not saying it's not low quality, but again, you know, you guys are going to take this truck off-road, and I'm pretty sure if you're driving around something that's more expensive, you'll feel bad about it if you damage it. So you do have the halogen headlights here, and they do have a little bit of gloss black with the pattern here in the housing. I don't know if you guys can see that right here. Get the black bow tie and the Trailboss logo. All right guys, we're gonna go ahead and switch around over to the tailgate area. Look at the tail lights, pretty similar to the previous gen Silverados. It's not square anymore compared to the previous generation Colorado. See how smooth that goes down. You have the spray and bed liner. You have 8 tie down locations. with the option to add more tie down locations throughout the bed here. And if you guys really look at this compared to the previous Colorado and the Canyons, it does have more cargo area compared to the previous trim level, right? All right, everybody, sorry about that. I just had to switch cameras here. So again, if you guys place pieces of wood here straight across, match the notches here, you do have a second level of storage to divide up your loads. And another cool thing about this liftgate is you got lockable storage compartment here. You guys could place some extra tools there, extra overlanding or off-road gear, recovery straps, you name it, it's all there. And not to mention, you get another ruler right here, or a ruler. If you guys are into hunting, fishing, whatever, you guys could check the measurements of your catch, and the warden could actually use it too if he forgets his ruler, right? Use it against you. No, I'm just kidding, guys. That's a really neat feature. And again, this is lockable. You have your lock and unlock. So right now we're locking it here, inboard, and super easy to close that lift gate. All right, you do have your side steps right here for the bumper. Trailboss does come with the parking sensors as well. You got your tow hitch and your trailering hookups, and everything is gloss black here. All right, and you get your standard rear camera. Now let's go on towards the inside. Once you step inside of the Trailboss trim, you will notice, you will see more of that composite material. You're not going to see that fancy leather stitching or red stitching that you would see on the Z71. You have the cloth seats, and again, you know, it goes back to, as an off-roader, what I believe GM had in mind is if you're going to damage parts off-roading, taking it off-road, you're going to beat this truck up, right? So you don't want to feel too bad if you damage something. And honestly, guys, I think this is the best route to take in terms of an off-road toy. See the steering wheel here? It is a rubber material. It is not leather. All right, and I do have the key fob right here. All right, so it's similar to the newer Silverados. It is a push start. So just put your foot on the brake, turn it right on. You see the animation on the screens right here, which is actually pretty nice. So obviously this is still a dealership truck, so I am in demo mode, and there's a difference between this one and the Z71 trim. There's a single zone climate. You'll see once you jump into the Z71 trim, you have more creature comforts, right? You get the leather interior and dual zone climate. Not here. You do get the auto start stop feature, lane departure warning. And if you look on the rear view mirror there, you do see that it's got the sensors in case you're about to get into the blind side of a vehicle, or you have a vehicle coming nearby you. And everything is pretty standard here as far as the rear view mirror and the controls overhead. All right, and if you guys notice the air vents here, they are pretty similar to the Blazer, right? The new Blazer that came out. And it's got, look here, you got the trailering app. It's got a beautiful screen, by the way, and you could save different trailing profiles here. Back here, drive and park. So yeah, here's your hill descent control as well. Turn that on if you're not on terrain mode. All right, let's exit out of this real quick. All right, let's see what else we have here. Bluetooth. Yeah, so this is all pretty cool stuff this truck's got. You know, definitely a huge improvement compared to the previous ones. You know, you do get your regular steering wheel controls as well. And not to mention the trailering package here. Your trailer brake control right there. Now let's go ahead and hop into the back seat real quick. All right, so I did put the seat back so I could get in. I'm not saying it's a small truck. It's actually feels a lot bigger than the Colorado I have, right? The second gen. So let's go ahead and do this. It is a power seat, power adjusting. Well, another cool thing as a Colorado owner, guys, you see the cup holders here? They could actually hold cups this time around compared to the previous generation where you could maybe put a can of dip in there. And if you're lucky, that can of dip won't fall out. But if you come into the back seat, you will notice you don't get the outlets or the charge features here like you do on the Z71. Again, everything is very basic in this truck, all right? Still cloth. You don't get the fold down cup holder like you do on the Z71 Class C, you know, very minimal. You get cup holders back here, cup holders in front, and the 2-door cup holders as well. All right, so the rear also gets the nice cup holders going back to all the composite material here. You know, again, if you guys get it dirty, super easy to clean and you don't feel bad about tearing it up. All right, so let me sit in the back seat here real quick so you guys can see my headroom. I'm 5'11". I'm a pretty heavy guy for my height, right? I'm about 230-ish pounds, but I do get enough headroom here, you know, and it feels comfortable. You could comfortably sit people back here, and the seats are actually a lot more comfortable than the leather seats in the ZR2 that I have. All right, it's nice, cushiony. I could fall asleep here comfortably. I could drive in the front seat comfortably. As a matter of fact, I drove this truck from the dealership over here with Kyle sitting alongside me, and man, this engine performs phenomenally, guys. I'm excited to get one of these. I'm gonna wait a little while, you know, because I want to keep my current truck, and once my budget allows it, I'm more than likely gonna add the ZR2 in this generation onto the garage. All right, guys, so right now I'm pretty much gonna wrap up this review here. Oh, one more thing, guys, you do still get a manual rear slide window. All right, so again, nothing fancy, very minimal. I think GM did an awesome job in keeping this truck, the Trailboss trim level specifically, at such minimal standard. Again, because if you're gonna get a Trailboss, more than likely is you're gonna go on trails a lot, right? And you don't want all those creature comforts, you don't want the leather seats, all that crazy stuff that might get torn up if you take it off-road, out into the elements. You take your dogs, all your camping gear in the back seat with you, you know, it is gonna be prone to tearing. So having all this cloth material, composite material throughout the truck, it gives it a more rugged feel, and you definitely feel it when you're driving. It makes you excited to take it off-road and not feel bad about tearing these things apart, right? And a lot of you guys are probably gonna add your GMRS radio, CB radios, all kinds of crazy mounts, where you're gonna be drilling holes into the dash, into the A-pillars, you know? So again, it's one less thing to worry about that you're gonna feel you're gonna damage if something goes wrong, right? And as far as looks goes, yeah, it might not look as good as the Z71 trim, but this truck is more for somebody that's actually going to take it off-road more than stay on-road. Whereas the Z71, I feel that truck belongs more for someone that will be on the road longer, use it as a commuter, and then occasionally take it off-road. All right, guys, so right now we're gonna go ahead and drive back to the dealership. I'm gonna try and get some footage for you guys driving it back with the performance and get our reaction as we're driving it, because this truck is very fun to drive. All right, guys, so we're about to take this back to the dealership, drive it back, and give you guys a little perspective here of how it drives. And man, I could tell you already, driving it over here, like I said earlier, it is freaking awesome. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and put this in drive. Take off the parking brake, and we're off to the races, guys. And this suspension is just smooth too, even though it's not even the ZR2 Multimatic one. It's very smooth. It's got bigger tires, so that really helps in reducing the bumps here, the feel of the bumps. Alright, guys, I'm about to get out here into one of the main streets. Make a right again, right? To the left? Yeah. You good. Alright, here you go, guys. Just gonna floor just a little bit, not too much. Yeah, right there I'm maybe about halfway down on the accelerator pedal. And I had a 5.3 Trailboss Silverado, guys, and that thing felt like a boat compared to this. You know, so a lot of you guys that are talking down on the 2.7 liter 4-cylinder, honestly, guys, recommend you guys try it before you bash it, and I guarantee you'll be impressed, especially on a mid-sized truck. All right, but yeah, everything feels extremely smooth on this truck. Throttle, it's extremely responsive, and for it being a turbo, there's really very little turbo lag. I know older turbo engines, you kind of feel the horsepower kick in, right? And that torque, you feel it at more like 4,000 or 5,000 RPMs. But this thing, you feel it right away. All right, so it drives beautifully. And what's cool too is as you're sitting inside the cabin here, you don't feel like you're driving a small truck. I could honestly say this feels more like a Silverado than the current Colorado I have. All right, my Colorado, you do feel kind of cramped in. And you guys notice the shifter here is actually moved closer to the passenger side. The current Colorado I have, right, before this generation, you have the shifter right here. And if you have lanky legs like me, your thighs is hitting the shifter all the time. All right, that gets kind of annoying at times. I know a lot of people swap out shifters and they'll get them off of a Buick or something, or a Blazer, and they'll put them on their previous generation Colorado. Man, this is nice and smooth, guys. I want to get home with this truck, but my wife will she'll probably kill me, and you guys will see the last of Trailboss Mafia. And you said you tested these out in Vegas too, right?
We did, yeah. We got an opportunity to drive these and also the 1500 2.7 comparing to the 5.3s, and I mean, we're all blown away just at the difference between these and the 5.3. Like you already said, it's just big difference in responsiveness, as you can tell. I mean, as soon as you put your foot down, it responds. So it's a great motor. Great motor.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, you had mentioned that this engine, at one point you told me, right, that GM had put it through hell and back. They put it through the ringer, and it's the first engine that they ever test that they didn't have any type of catastrophic failure on it, right?
Yeah, they have a testing facility out outside of Las Vegas area, and yeah, they put it through its paces, and according to our trainers out there in GM, they said it was the first motor that went through start to finish without, you know, any kind of issues whatsoever. The very first one. So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, guys, that's freaking insane, you know, especially for a brand new engine that hasn't withstood the test of time. You know, they put it through as much pressure and testing that they could, and they couldn't get it to fail, guys. You know, not a lot of you guys are saying that's a turbo 4-cylinder. You know, you guys are afraid of the longevity, the reliability of these, but in all honesty, guys, I could honestly predict that this is going to be the next flagship engine for General Motors that a lot of manufacturers are probably going to take notes from. All right, guys, so we are here at the dealership, okay, and thank you for watching this. Let's thank Kyle here for giving me a hands-on with this truck.
Yeah, definitely. If you guys need anything, we're in Patterson, California. Thompson Chevrolet, Buick GMC. We'd love to help you out. We've got plenty on the way.
You guys, Patterson, it's a small town. It's not on the map, but it is on the map. If you guys are trying to find hard to find vehicles, hit these guys up, all right? All right, so here's the different views you get when you're backing up. You look at the infotainment system. You have your regular aerial 360 bird's eye view, backup camera, everything is pretty high definition. At the front view, you got both left and right sides here. Bigger screen right there, and these are your guidelines here if you're backing up normally. Pretty impressive truck, guys. GM definitely stepped it up with this one, and it makes me want to get one. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. All right, guys, again, hit up Thompson Chevrolet out here. They're going to take very good care of you, okay? I want to give a huge shout out to Kyle from Thompson Chevrolet in Patterson, California for giving me access to their Colorado. If you guys are in the market and are in California, don't forget to check them out. Their website link is in the description below. Thanks again for watching.